Didn't it trigger the live? Oh, damn. Why didn't it work? Oh, it did now.
Chupapi mo
What up,
nyanyo.
Neil Corner?
Chupapi
Papi.
mo. Chupapi mo fucking nyanyo mo nyanyo.
How are you? Um, I got KFC. I don't know what I want to do. Bro, during the vacations, like I have beforehand, I have so much planned. But now that's here, I don't know what to do. And I have like 2 more days remaining. I managed to watch one movie a day, I guess. How you been? Any interesting videos I can watch while I munch on this? Kind of chill? Nice. Did you get up to something yesterday? Went out with friends? I'm looking for something interesting to watch. Whoa, made a goofy office simulation game 72 hours. Have you seen Juniper Dev? She's cool. She makes cool videos. Game dev related. But with their friend nice. Yeah. Let's see. Undertale, the horribly made game. Let's do that. Fuck. I repeat that song again. Edge. She used to
Okay,
be
you
Twitch
saw the
streamer,
title, but
but
I'm
now
not
she does
talking about the
YouTube.
gameplay. I'm not talking about the dialogue. I'm not talking about the story. I'm talking about the way that the game was made. See, Toby Fox was not an incredible developer. He never claimed to be, he never wanted to be, but he still made one of the
Yeah.
best-selling games of all time.
Hello, hot dog
Because the
Sarawara.
current Undertale is filled with a bunch
From
of
KFC.
interesting workarounds
Chilling.
to problems and many failed attempts. You know how you have the option to either kill enemies or spare them? Well, if you decide to butcher them all, like a psychopath, which I'm sure you know is called the genocide route, you're eventually given the choice to erase the world. And when you do that, the game comes to an end by crashing itself and exiting. Well, what was originally meant to happen in this ending was a little more intense. The initial idea was to actually delete the game itself off of your system.
How are you? What did you get
Gone
after
as if you
yesterday, hot
just
dog?
uninstalled it. But the thing is, Toby didn't know how to do that. He tried. Bless his heart, he tried. And you know what? It would probably take me a hot minute to figure out how to do that too. But it's really funny to see his attempts at doing so in the code. You can see here that he tries every case-sensitive version of deleting the file name Undertale, but no luck. There are other games that manage to do that, and the effect is very unsettling. You feel completely powerless. Doki Doki Literature Club kinda does something like that, and so does a game called One Shot. The idea is that you only have one chance to beat the game, and if you close the game or leave, well, the main character who you're controlling and needs you, dies of neglect, and then you don't have a character to play the game with, so you're done playing the game. It's pretty intense, so you can understand why Toby wanted to do something like that, and it would have resonated heavily to feel completely responsible for not only killing off every character, but also destroying their world. In an alternate timeline, that is the genocide route ending. The many endings of Undertale are part of what defines the game, but another part of that is the art style. It's quirky, it's colorful, and as you probably noticed, not perfect. It's not beautifully shaded, the line work can be a little funky, and it's kind of inconsistent. I was trying to find the general consensus on whether people liked the art in Undertale or not, and I made the mistake of opening a Steam thread, which is the one place I found that's worse than a Reddit thread. But I did get the information that a lot of people passed on Undertale solely because of the art. And what's funny with that is that a lot of Undertale's art was actually removed or changed because it looked too good. Yeah, there's this art of Papyrus where the animation was too good, so they had to simplify it. And this art of Doge had to be redone because it, and I quote, didn't look crappy enough. The bad art, and I say that very lovingly, definitely has a charm to it though, and even the completely unused art does too.
Yeah, no, I like it.
This was an early test sprite called Lava Creature, which is later renamed to Pole and used as an object without the face. Big Bob has no known purpose, but just kind of exists unused in the game. And here's this sprite of Flowey, which I think is meant to be funny, but it's honestly the most unsettling expression that I've seen this character have. I can imagine Flowey saying some pretty terrifying things with this face. Or this one. Wow. And speaking of, another interesting thing about the Code of Undertale is actually the way that the dialogue is handled. Usually, when you make dialogue in a video game, you have a distinct file that has all the possible text that can pop up in your game. This is usually a CSV file or a JSON, and you can think of it as basically a database for text. So then, at different parts in your code, you extract specific parts of this file, and that'll depend on what character you're talking to, if you have a certain item, whatever. And that's one of the most efficient and common ways to do it. But the way that Undertale handles dialogue is much worse. All of the dialogue in the entire game, every text box that pops up, is handled in one massive if statement. This is what it looks like. It's called a switch statement, and it works like this. A condition goes here, let's say we're looking at a number. Now, if that number is 1, do this. If it's 2, do this, etc. So for Undertale, this was a huge statement containing all of the dialogue, and every time dialogue was run, it would run. Case 737 out of what must have been at least 1,000 lines. Now this is technically decompiled code, so it looks slightly different, but I imagine that it's like, oh, if you're in this part of the game talking to Papyrus, make it say this. If you're in this specific place talking to this specific character with this specific item, do this. Undertale is already a highly custom experience where the dialogue varies greatly depending on what choices you make, so you can imagine the sheer size of this switch statement. And usually something like this would be very bad because it would slow things down and just very inefficient. But Undertale itself requires such little space and memory that I guess it's fine. It doesn't cause substantial lag anywhere, and I guess Toby was fine doing it this way.
He was supposed to have the bot role. I don't know why.
He can make the code as unoptimal as he wants, and it doesn't matter.
He's not getting the bot role.
However he wants to. There are rooms with literally hundreds of if statements. There's like 10 cutscenes controlled by one object.
Toby's Fox is kind of a twink.
Verbose series of if statements
I didn't expect him to be that tiny.
The snowballs in that one room have like a bajillion vertices. And then the best part, doesn't matter. Kudos to Shay on Twitter for that one. They also told us that the moving text box gag in the conveyor belt room creates and destroys
Curious.
and recreates the text every single frame in order to give the illusion of a moving box. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of just moving a box, we're gonna make it a stop-motion animation. Toby clearly writes whatever he wants to, which is why when you inspect the Undertale website, you're actually given a fun little message at the very bottom that reads, "What are you doing? Looking for secrets? Don't put your nose where it doesn't belong, or you might learn something you don't like." Hee. Toby actually once talked about how he's sad that games in this era don't have any secrets hardly, which I agree and disagree with, but Undertale is definitely one of the games out there with a lot of secrets. Secrets throughout the game that you
Want
might
me to try
actually
telling it to
never
ban?
find, and they're designed
Or
to be that way.
my
And
hands are
not because
messy.
you
I'll
aren't
try it
digging
now.
hard enough
Later.
for them, but because at the start of each new playthrough in Undertale, you're actually assigned a random number from 1 to 100 called a fun value. And then different rare occurrences happen depending on what value you got. If your number is in the range of, say, 2 to 39, you'll get a call from a random number as you're walking through Snowdin. Other events will only happen if your number is one specific value or in a very small range. The occurrences that do happen are kind of just fun little eggs or short dialogue or small changes that don't affect the
Wasn't
gameplay
Shay
a whole lot.
exposed as a
But it is
diddler in the
cool,
game?
and not a lot
I
of
don't
games will
remember.
predetermine a
It's been a
value at
while.
the very start of your
At
game
least
that
like
affects
5 years ago,
encounters,
6
because
years
that
ago.
means you're sacrificing a lot of content that the player
No,
would just
definitely more
never
than
run
that.
into. It's a classic game developer's dilemma.
What
You
up,
want your
Cuber?
players to have a custom, personal experience, but the more customization or choices you give them, the less gameplay will be visible across the board. But Undertale is built differently, because it said, you know what? I don't care. You would have to replay the entire game in order to get some endings, and there are so many conditionals that go into every dialogue statement. Heck, you skip nearly all the puzzles in the game if you choose to kill every enemy. Undertale is clearly a game made out of passion, wanting to tell a story, give you things to think about, and put you into a video game where your choices actually matter. Not the illusion of your choices mattering, where encounters are the same no matter what dialogue option you choose. Which, by the way, is the stupidest thing in game design, but whatever. Undertale don't do that. And the best part is that to make an experience like that, you don't have to be an expert programmer. If anything is the takeaway from this video, it's that. Games aren't a science. You don't have to be perfectly optimal. Of course, some things should be, or else we get this fun thing that we call lag, but they don't have to be flawless in how they work. They just have to work. They have to do what you want them to do and tell the story that you want them to tell. Remember, Undertale was made by one person with the help of an artist in a free software. That software is GameMaker, who I thank for partnering with me on today's video. I've used GameMaker for a lot of my own projects, and it was actually the first game engine that I
Freshwater
started
Wern
making games with. I found that
uses
it's very
GameMaker.
intuitive. Everything is laid out on this nice big dashboard where you can move everything around. Folders are pre-made for you. It's very easy to see everything you're working on at once visually, which my little organization brain loves and needs. Tile sets, animations, level editing, movement. All these scary things in game development are wildly uncomplicated compared to other engines. I could explain all those things to you in like 60 seconds, but I don't have to because there are so many tutorials online that can teach you how to do it because the community is massive. There's a reason why Undertale used it. Remember, Toby Fox was not a professional developer, but he still made Undertale because GameMaker is extremely beginner friendly. There's a code option where you can obviously write code for your game, or a visual drag and drop option, which can be a really nice
Yeah, she's a
introduction to
baddie.
just learning how to think like a programmer and make your very first game. We're talking Hotline Miami, Hyper Light Drifter, Katana Zero, Deltarune also, of course. Those iconic indie titles have all been made in GameMaker.
Right.
It's completely free to use for any non-commercial games you make, and if you do decide to sell your games, it's a one-time fee for any PC, web, or mobile exports you might make. And of course, they also offer console exports. Download GameMaker for free using the link in the description. I am so excited to see all the indie games you guys are going to bring into the world with GameMaker.
Zeno.
Now that, my
Welcome
friends,
in,
is
Zeno.
why Undertale is the most horrible game ever written. And I hope it's clear by now we know I was not talking about the gameplay, the dialogue, or the story, because that is incredible. The game is imperfect, it's quirky, a little weird,
She
a little
blew up
funky,
on
but
YouTube,
it's
by
a
the way, like
lovable
almost
story, and it's
400K.
really cool to see how many other games it's gone on to
360K.
inspire. I'd be willing to bet that at least 50% of solo game developers could tell you that they were inspired by Undertale. That's all I got though. I'm losing my voice. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. A wonderful rest of your day. If you're interested in joining a community of game developers, check out the Discord server linked in the description. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Interesting new point is theory. Wait, what?
Their dog
To
owner
lose
can
weight?
pet the dogs. But this might not be the first game to have so many.
Oh no,
dogs.
for the pooping thing. Okay. very few. Like how many videos in total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, so it's like 40 videos. Stay motivated making games. Yo, Dan, what up, Dan? And we're watching Juniper Dev. Dan thinks Juniper Dev the baddie as well. We have discussed. Thank you for the sub, Dan. 9. Holy shit, this is you're pregnant, bro. What are we gonna call the baby? Oh, this is a good video. Also, this one was also a very good video. Psychology of color. Number go up prediction.
Here we are at the entrance to the crossroads in Hollow Knight, and if you look closely, you'll see that there's 6 layers of shells at
About
the bottom here.
he had a
When you
big
move back and
deal
forth, you're able to actually
that
see
caught
these layers.
you
as
off
some
guard from
shells fall
childhood.
on top of you.
Graal?
That's nothing super
Oh,
complicated.
way.
It's just parallax. which is when you
Gryffindor?
can see an object move because of a shift.
I don't know. Everyone's got their
Hollow
style.
Knight uses this everywhere, and the foreground constantly has these layers, whether it's grass or rocks, and it makes you feel like you're in the middle of this environment instead of just the surface. But what you really might not notice is that below all these layers, below these shells or these rocks or this grass, is a layer of solid black. Most of this platform is solid black. When you look anywhere in the world, you'll start to pick up on this. The center of any large platform is a dark, empty space. Not just that, but black becomes a layer in the environment too. You'll have solid black chains, and black walls, and black grass, and decorations. It's everywhere. Heck, there's some parts of this game where most of your screen is covered in this layer. But your eyes
Dan, I made so much progress on our Factorio yesterday. It was fun.
somehow ignore it, and it never feels like it's in the way or like it's stopping you from seeing anything. You might not have even consciously noticed this until I pointed it out, so you're welcome. There's a lot more black overlay to this game than you might realize, and it's all used very intentionally. When you transition from one area of this game to another, the game will fade out to black, and then you make it to the new area and it fades back in. Great, nothing new. But did you notice that before you even enter the next area, the screen will already start to fade on the opposite side? Look, it's fully bright, and then the closer we get to the exit, the more this vignette takes over. So when we finally do pass through that entrance, it never feels like, okay, time to transition. It never breaks that immersion or that state of flow. So flowing from
She
biome
did
to
that
biome
transition with her
region doesn't feel choppy.
monitor.
Not just because of these sexy transitions, but because every time you go from one region to another, you'll be eased into the new assets and the new art of that environment. It doesn't hard cut from the blue shells of the crossroads to the moss and green path. You start by seeing some flowers and some greenery around the entrance. You see some particles. In fact, between almost every 2 regions in this game, there's this space that I want to call a transition room. Like when you go from the crossroads to green
Do you think how much thought 3 people put into this game?
One of the most beautiful moments in the whole game, I think, because it's also the first time that you experience this. You start in the crossroads, and you hear the music of that area, you see the blue palette that's associated with that region, the rocks, but then you make it through this little tunnel and you enter this transition area. The music stops, but the same ambient sounds keep going, and after a certain point, the background goes from blue to green. The whole time, there's this cave sound that's progressively getting louder the closer you get to the green path entrance. Listen for a second. Then you leave the transition room, and notice how the left side of your screen is still black. There's still that vignette. But once you start to move forward, it all opens up, and it's beautiful.
It is now.
Transitions happen everywhere, and they're a big part of why the world.
When it was Hollow Knight, it was just 3 people.
Thing, and not just a bunch of stitched together levels. Building a world like that takes skill. Skill that I think should be shared.
I hope I'm not. Team Cherry Original Embers. Right. One. Small team. Okay, 4 members. Co-director, artist, career designer, programmer. Oh, Larkin is just the guy that made the music. The music's really good.
Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is the largest online learning platform for all those creative little ducks like you and me. There are thousands of classes on everything, but especially when it comes to game development, UI design, making music, the business side of it, everything. Now I've been following this Blender 3D texturing class alongside 4,000 other members. It's nice because something like texturing is a more niche topic, so there's not necessarily just going to be a lot of deep dives on it out there in the internet. My 3D modeling skills have always been a little bit questionable, but I'm finally on the road to not completely sucking. Skillshare does let you learn by doing, so you'll be regularly completing projects after finishing a class. A class taught by an industry expert, by the way, not just a random YouTuber like me. Disgusting. Who
Yeah.
wants to hear that? I mean, there's of course a Skillshare class out there if you want to learn how to do YouTube. But I'm just saying. I've been really enjoying Skillshare, and millions of other creative brains out there do too, whether it is game development that you want to do or not. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So go get started today. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring, and let's get back to Hollow Knight. Now, aesthetics are obviously a big reason of why Hollow Knight feels the way it does. But why it feels so fun to play, I think, is because of the movement. We have to talk about the fine-tuned, tailored movement here, guys. Specifically, the exact physics that go into making platforming feel the way that it does. I talked a little bit about this in a previous video, but I want to dive a little deeper. When you look at a platforming game, it's not just having a character that can jump, collide with walls, and move back and forth. That would feel very static and unsatisfying because it feels like you don't have a lot of control. So the first thing we have to do is add a variable jump height. Okay, so now when we tap the jump button, we'll do a little hop, and then if we hold it, we'll jump a lot farther. Great. Gravity is also at play here. We go up, we go down, but we actually want more than that. What makes the jump more satisfying is if we actually hang in the air for a little bit at the peak of the jump, and then perhaps we fall down faster than we jumped up. So our jump goes from looking like this to this. The next thing we have to do is recognize that humans are not perfect, and that if you expect people to be able to continuously jump and perfectly time every jump for when they contact the platform, you're going to get a very angry player base. So instead, we have to implement jump queuing, which means even if you aren't fully on the ground yet, you should still be able to queue your next jump. Games that don't have this tend to feel very unresponsive and clunky, which is the last thing you want in a genre where you need to feel in control. Another thing we need to do, knowing humans aren't perfect, is add coyote time, which is basically how far your character can be off the edge of a platform, but still be able to jump. It's literally like those cartoons with the coyote that's chilling off the edge of a ledge, but he hasn't fallen yet. It's cute as heck, but we need that. And we also need to catch ourselves on the edges of ledges if we don't perfectly land on them. Or shape the ledges themselves so that they don't have blunt corners, but they're round capsules. That way, if you land right on the corner of a platform, you won't just smack into it and fall, because that's not fun, but you'll actually nudge yourself up onto it. Awesome, so jumping feels a lot better now, but we finally, lastly, need momentum. Momentum in games requires 3 main things. Number 1, keeping the player in motion even after they release the run key, which, if you passed the 5th grade, congratulations, you might know is called inertia. 2, having the start of your run slowly increase before you reach a top speed. And 3, changing the
So shade one
horizontal
replaying
length of
factors
player
that just
jump based
Abu
on
had
the
good.
player running
Hey.
speed. Very nice, very nice. We did it. Now we have a platformer that feels responsive and feels satisfying. Now, Hollow Knight is a masterclass in fine-tuning those numbers and adding little modifiers so that you feel one with this little vessel. You're incredibly bouncy, but you're also accurate and you're nimble, and it feels fun to just jump around even without an objective. In the
Get
same
back to
way,
finishing
it's fun
Silk
to
Song
just swing
sometime
your
soon.
sword as you're walking through an area and destroy things, because even the environment is incredibly responsive. It's not just a responsive movement system that this game has, but
Muscle
every
memory is
interaction
gone.
feels that way. Little fun fact, if you destroy the sign that's at the entrance to the crossroads, there's a small chance every time you re-enter the area that this guy named Menderbug is gonna come and refix the sign. He's very cute. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And notice that when you do destroy some object in the world, either it won't destroy all the way, or if you do destroy it all the way, then you'll get some exaggerated animation. Like when you swing around and cut grass, it doesn't just disappear, you get this explosion of particles. It's like confetti, it's throwing a little party over there. Every time you hit something, destroy something, or kill something, you're left with some residue that tells you your actions had an impact. It's that really subtle incentive to interact with the world, even if it takes the form of a sound effect. Play this game and pay attention to the sheer variety of sound effects and how different they are depending on what material you're interacting with. That is not something that's unique to Hollow Knight, and I know that, but it is something that I especially have grown to appreciate after taking a sound design class this semester. One of the last assignments for this class involved taking away the audio from a scene in a video game and then replacing all the audio with our own sounds. So naturally, obviously, I chose the Mantis Lord's fight from Hollow Knight. I started by stripping away the audio and then figuring out how many sound effects I would need to recreate everything in the scene. It turns out, a lot. Think about every attack, every step from you and the enemy, every background sound, having a variety of attack and step sounds so that your ears don't get tired listening to the same thing. I ended up adding all of this to my sound editing timeline, and in the end, my recreation sounded like this. Isn't that really weird, knowing what the original sounds like? Anyway, what a lot of games will do is, like, for a walking sound, they'll take a single step and then just randomize the pitch of that step every time you walk. So instead of needing to have like 10 different walking sounds, you can just randomize it. I could not do that for this assignment, but nonetheless, I learned a lot, and I realized just how good the sound design is in this game. And that's for both diegetic and non-diegetic sounds. Now, diegetic sounds are sounds that exist solely for you, the player, and don't really happen in the game world. So your UI sounds, which are so crisp in Hollow Knight, by the way, oh my gosh, but also like your music, your background track. And then non-diegetic sounds are technically anything that like the characters would hypothetically also be able to hear. Your attacks, your walking sounds, that stuff. Or for example, the sounds that my favorite NPC in the entire game makes. This guy. This is the Hive Knight. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you. If you ever watched my streams of this game back in the day, you know I was an absolute simp for this dude. He is my absolute favorite. He's a cutie patootie. He's everything that I need in a man. Even if he obviously skips leg day. It doesn't matter, okay? He's perfect. He will make the cutest little buzzing sounds when you fight him. It's cute because it's not just sounds that are like in response to him getting hit, though he does make those sounds too. He does whimper when you hit him. I'm being quiet so my roommates don't hear me. He does whimper when you hit him, which is intriguing to say the least. And the developers added in these noises very intentionally to give him a personality that he might have never really had otherwise. Like, really think about how intentional everything in this game is, even from a mechanical design perspective. Look at the soul meter, for example. I think it's called the soul meter, the thing that stores your soul. They could have easily broken down that gauge into concrete sections or charges. You know, you hit an enemy, you get a charge, that's how you'd kind of expect things to go. But instead, it's a lot more of a fluid container. And as a result of that, you'll find yourself hitting enemies and actively checking whether you have enough soul. And during fights, it feels a lot more intense than knowing, okay, gotta hit him 3 times and then I get my heal. Like, that is a design choice in and of itself, and it's tiny, but it changes the way it all feels. Think about how there's no damage numbers that show up on screen. There's no boss health bars. There's no death screen. There aren't levels. You never really know how many units of damage you're doing at any given point, but you can still upgrade. It's just not numerical. That's intentional, and changing any of those things would, I think, give the game a completely different feel. If there were damage numbers and there were health bars and you could see the amount of charges you had in your soul, it would definitely, I think, feel more grindy and more RPG-like. You wouldn't really feel that satisfaction of killing bugs that used to take 3 hits in 1. The mystery of all of that is the point. When you don't know how many hits this boss can tank, any one feels like it could be the last. And then as you play, as you fight, you slowly kind of pick up on what it feels like to be close to killing it. In the same way, when you upgrade your weapon, you don't know exactly how much more damage you do, but you feel it. You feel it because you know how long it has taken you to kill things in the past, and now you're not getting juked on. It all points to how good this game is at showing instead of telling, or feeling instead of telling. It's the exact same way that the story is presented to you. You are very rarely just told things about the world. You are shown them, and you experience them. In the story behind Hollow Knight, there's a lot to it, but there's this infection happening that comes from this divine higher being called the Radiance. She's a queen. We love her. That infection isn't super obvious to you at first, but once you progress further into the game, it starts to visibly take over the world and infect different bugs. You see these yucky little orange bubbles pop up, and routes that were previously open are now sealed shut by the infection. Now, does the game tell you that this disease is spreading? Sure, but very sparingly, because it cares a lot more about physically showing you how it is evolving. That's generally referred to as environmental storytelling, and it's one of the concepts that Hollow Knight uses so well. Because think about it, there's very few proper cutscenes in this game. You're very rarely being told, okay, this is who you are, this is what you're doing, this is your business, go do your thing, this is your thing. You start the game with this abstract poem, and then you take the form of the vessel.
Yeah, most of the lore I had to learn from outside of Hollow Knight, from others,
like when you
others, other, from other YouTubers who like did their grind to find out.
You aren't told that she's related to the Pale King, but you can infer that. The same thing happens when you make
The
it to
Pale King was a
and
whole.
you see all the corpses of the other vessels. That moment of, hang on a second. Those moments are what makes
Oh, she is right
so
behind
just
me.
looking
Fuck.
at it as a whole, as a medium. The idea of showing instead of telling is a thing in books, it's in movies, but outside of video games, it's very rarely ever this interactive. It is art, and as if the rest of this video didn't make it obvious enough, Hollow Knight is art. Especially to me, because the first game that I ever streamed was Hollow Knight. That was a year before I ever started YouTube. Did we do that? Did we just do that? Am I dreaming? This game and the community behind it are absolutely what inspired me to keep doing content and fall in love with indie games and then naturally kind of drift towards game development. I owe so much to the chat of people that guided me through this game, because that opened my eyes to what community can look like for a single player game, what widespread appreciation can look like. Hollow Knight is an objectively good game.
I like her editing
It's
style.
a bar, but also just has a very warm place in my heart for that reason. I have a little figurine, I have it on my keys. Maybe one day I'll have a little subtle Hollow Knight tattoo, who knows. But either way, that's all that I have to say about Hollow Knight for now. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye. Meow meow meow. What do you wanna? What do we want to do? What do you want to do? I could play Star Rupture. I got the game yesterday. Man, I'm worried. Like, but maybe if I have like something to commit to, because right now it's vacation and I'm just so lazy. I don't feel like, and I need to treat myself anyways. I need to chill. Make the most of this. I spent 8 hours trying to overclock with Claude. Yeah. I used to have Team Turkey out of their water. And back when the Turkish prices were really, really low. Now they normalized it so that workaround is not there anymore. I had a friend in Turkey who converted my account to a Turkish account. Games that were like $80 for like, I could get it for like $5. And then I went step by step. I started doing benchmarks. I started giving the benchmarks, and then it was telling me what I needed to do, tweak it. But a lot of the settings are locked by Lenovo, so we couldn't. And then the final was like, oh, you need to repaste it. Okay. Okay. I'll wait till my warranty expires, which is 1 more month, and then I'll repaste it myself. It's crazy that I can get what paste did they recommend? They recommended ever play Turing? I think I have the game. Turing? I don't. I have virtual circuit board. Is it on sale? I heard good things about it. Turing. Oh, but it's 31. I don't know if I want to spend that money. Learn CPU architecture with puzzles. Very cool. It's still on early access? What? Gamified NAND Tetris. You learn assembly, CPU architecture, components, logic. Ooh. Doing a huge overhaul. And I have a food coma right now. Jesus. Look at it. What paste was I supposed to get? Nice. Get a cooling pad. I got that. Thermal Glizzy Cryonaut or Honeywell PTM. Better long term. Oh, but they had the Corsair. This is a 2-pack. You made an ASIC? Ooh. What did you do with your Dreamcast? I saw that like it works with SD cards. That's cool. How useless it is. But I bet you learned a lot in the process. I can get it in 60 minutes. What about the other one that it recommended? Oh, this is cheaper. Wait, is this the Cryonaut? I don't know. Replace the broken optical drive with a popular optical drive emulator. Interesting. And it works? It reads the SD card? I could also play League. Faith was good. Remember Faith? That was a good game. I got the farmer was replaced. Firewatch was a game I streamed way back when I had like 0 viewers. That was fun though. Reese 2. I wanted to play Split Fiction or It Takes Two with my sister, but the times have not aligned. She works at the time I stream. She's been working from home while she's here. Eventually. I have remastered in Miles Morales. Oh, I heard good things about this melatonin game. It's like a beat. Let's try this game. Supposed to be trippy. There's Payday 2. Oh, I have the new civilization. Interesting. I have Sifu. Star Rupture. Put that to download. Sifu is good. 30 GB. Let's get it. This is a scam. When they say Legacy of Thieves Collection, it's just these 2 games. I thought they were gonna give 1, 2, 3 as well. Recall why? It's kind of like Factorio. The 3D. It's nice. I'll play that after Melatonin. But let's get Star Raptor first. Hope this supports controller. You have stars, Dave? You have Star Up? What are you laughing at? It was on early access for free, and that was fun. It's quite well optimized. I'm surprised how good it looks and how well it runs on my system. A Nil Pointer song. I want to have an energy drink, but man, I need to reset my sleep schedule tomorrow. I won't. I won't touch it. All right. Oh, it pauses this download in the background. Damn it. How do I unpause? What the fuck? that shows up. I'm probably gonna rage quit this game. Humongous. Oh man, frame rate's uncapped. Should I turn VSync on? Give it like that. Visual effects like flashing lights and colors. This can affect players for epilepsy warning. Rhythm game that requires precise timing. For a dreamy experience, make sure your sound is on and avoid using Bluetooth audio. Don't tell me what to do. Follow the rhythm and hit X on beat when moving circles to fully overlap the center circle. Yeah. Recognizing audio-visual cues and reacting to them at the right time according to the rhythm. For the first lesson, pay attention to the cues. They'll be hinting for you to react on the fourth beat and circles fully overlap. Dominoes. Starts with the key. Oh. And there's Tech Savvy Travi with his classic. Pakistan. Putting all the billionaires into submarines that implode when what? Potatoes. Poland. Penis. Papa John.
My plan is that I will be pilot and I'll help everyone.
Help everyone. Okay. There'll be less guidance the next lesson, but try to react on the fourth beat like last time. What the fuck? I'm gonna rage quit. What? Cooked.
Tomorrow night at 11:30 is part 2 of the British espionage thriller. Cliff Robertson and David Soul star in The Key to Rebecca. Suspended in midair, bombs almost anything.
startup is ready. You're familiar of sound before moving on to score mode. And we will guide you through this using timing circle and metronome. Like to be guided at all times, you can enable that accessibility. What? I put vintage story on my radar. Oh, okay. I think you did bring that up way back when you first was chatting, Zeno. I have a look. Take care, Nick Hunter. Fuck. I feel like this is something Alyssa will be really good at. I don't know how she manages to keep track of chat while playing Hatsune Miku. Okay, I have food coma and do not have the brain power to time things right now. I didn't expect it to be that hard. Have a good online one. It's the vintage story. Is it not available on? The devs. Oh, right. Oh, I know what I was supposed to do today. My brother was supposed to have the server ready, but I guess I didn't get any word from him. Own cross-platform engine. Deadlier, lots of love and polish. It looks nice. So this looks better than Hytale.
Nice here. Except I look like this and sound like
Great little contrast to
nice here.
Minecraft. Is what a
Except
couple.
I look like this and sound like a saxophone. That's because it's not Minecraft, it's Vintage Story. And it's been brought up in the comments of every single one of my videos,
Nice.
even the ones that aren't about geology. It describes itself as an uncompromising wilderness survival sandbox game inspired by eldritch horror themes. Find yourself in a ruined world, reclaimed by nature, and permeated by unnerving temporal disturbances. Relive the advent of human civilization, or take your own path. It was initially inspired by Minecraft, but besides the base structure being an open-world sandbox survival voxel game where you collect resources, build, and survive, they are very different. It has nearly 10,000 blocks, items, and entities, including an extensive amount of trees, flowers, and vegetation, animals, mushrooms, sailboats, and coral reefs, gears, and many other things, even vertical slabs, but most importantly, a ton of geology. I've played over 150 hours in survival, did a lot more in creative exploration, and chatted with the lead dev. I'm a geologist in real life, and this is a geologic review of Vintage Story. The amount of things we need to cover in this review is extensive, so I'm dividing it into two parts. This first one will cover rocks, sediment, and world gen, and then the second will cover ores, geologic structures, and game mechanics related to geology. I'll be comparing things to real life, and I'll get pedantic about things, but a little inconsistency with reality is fine, or even good in many cases. Real life can be boring, and a game's job is to make those things interesting and engaging. Vintage Story started out as a one-man project, but it's still a small indie team of about 20 people.
A one-man
consistently updating the game. My criticisms should be taken with a grain of salt, and not me just saying that something is bad. I will be giving my thoughts on some possible changes though, and at the end of part 2, I'll discuss my opinions about the rest of the gameplay as well. The developers state that Vintage Story is heavily inspired by natural processes of the real world and brings them into a game in a fun and enjoyable way. Our aim is to capture the beauty of the natural world and amplify the existence within our game. This increased focus on realism comes with much of the crafting not being done in the inventory or a crafting bench, but in the world itself. I'm not going to continually compare everything to Minecraft, but some things are unavoidable. Just to showcase the difference between the two games, let's discuss the steps to get to iron. Most people are so familiar with Minecraft steps that I don't need to show this, but punch trees, make crafting bench, make a wood pick, mine stone, make a stone pick, mine coal, stone, and iron ore, make a furnace, smelt iron, make iron pick. This whole process took me 3 minutes, which is quick, but I'm no speedrunner. Now, let's do Vintage Story. Pick up some sticks and flint, nap stone, knife, and shovel. Get attacked by bear. Nap a stone axe. Cut some reeds, chop some trees, cut some grass, dig some clay and peat, dab a clay crucible, get attacked by a shovel, dab hammer and pickaxe mold, dig firing pits, make a fire in a torch, place molds in pits, fill pits with grass, sticks, and peat, light pits, find copper bits, mark on map, take out molds, make tongs, cut down more trees. Pile up the wood, dig some soil, bury the wood, make a fire on top, and close it all in. Wait. Acquire charcoal. Place copper nuggets in crucible and add charcoal to fire. Pour copper into molds and wait. Make copper pick and hammer. Dig below copper nugget spot. Mine all the copper. Make and fire prospecting pick mold. Melt more copper. Pour the mold. Prospect and find
molding's very cool.
An anvil mold. Smelt a lot of bronze. Pour an anvil, hammer, and pick. Burn some flint. Make ingot molds. Quarry some blocks. Make 2 bronze ingots. Build forge. Heat ingot and forge chisel. Make quern. Grind calcinated flint. Make fire clay, bricks, and then fire them. Prospect and mine iron ore. Make a bloomery. Break ore into nuggets. Add fuel and light. Break bloomery and get blooms. Heat bloom. Remove slag and form into ingot. Form pick from ingot. To record this, I cheated. I went back and forth from creative to survival for each step, and it still took me almost 3 hours. In my survival world, it took me nearly 80 hours to get to iron. And after that is steel, the current highest tier of metal in the game, and that has even more elaborate steps. Before we get started on geology, I want to touch on some of the other details. Vintage Story has weather, temperature, and seasons, which actually changes based on the distance from an effective equator, which in turn also affects the possible vegetation. The position of the sun not only varies with time of day, but also month and latitude. If you are near the North Pole, the sun will never set in the summer. Since the sun actually casts shadows based on its location, you can make a working sundial. This attention to detail continues underground, and the rocks that make up the world are highly varied and aren't just horizontal layers at specific depths. Since Vintage Story gives so much care to natural materials, we're going to start at the beginning with rocks.
That's cool.
Vintage Story has a huge variety of rocks.
I'm taking votes. Do you want to play Star Rupture or Sifu? You want to see Kung Fu or martial arts? Kung Fu. Or you want to see something like Factorio in first person? Looks sweet though. Oh, there's a new Silksong patch. And a Rayman's Legends patch. It's a Star Rupture. If I get bored, I'll move over to Sifu. Team input. Do I need to use controller? I need controller for this. Have you not played Star Rupture yet? You just bought the game? Not multiplayer. I played with Nightshade Dude and Defias and Danville. Not Defias, Nightshade Dude and Danville. Defias didn't have the game that time. Get the teams back as well. I'll wait till a buddy wants to do multiplayer. Nice. Oh, so it's still early access. $2,000 remaining. You're so out of it today. Like, if you agree Therians and furries should stop being compared to zoophile, what the fuck is that? Are on a WoW kick? You've been on retro. Do you not play WoW? I've never played WoW. Never got into it or never tried it. Have you played Albion Online, Zeno? I really like. It can be like very unforgiving though, because when you're traveling across like PvP regions and you can lose all of your hard-earned stuff. But all of the valuable shit, like if you really want to level up, you gotta go through the PvP stuff. That's where I like solidified my Loki Abu name. And it's the first time I made internet friends. Because before that, I never really engaged with randoms on the internet. It was always people I knew IRL. Only game that matters is... Bruh. Bruh. Anti-lag reflex. Just will leave it at that. Do you not play anything outside of League? Hot of the Water, is League like the only game you play? Star Mercy. Fuck, can I not do double S? Yes, stars. Single player, friends only, invite. Let's just do single player. I want to do the tutorial. Makes you pro at other non-Dota MOBAs. Yeah, Dota is like confusing. The people who love Dota love Dota. Scientist, biologist, engineer, soldier. Take the engineer. Can't find. What used to lead first? Yeah. I like how you can bring items to you though in Dota.
What the?
Please don't move. I want to run a holistic scan. Commencing holistic scan.
It's running at 40 FPS, but it's still smooth. It's not stuttering.
Welcome to the Argos program. Your adventure with the Claywood Corporation begins right now. Hello, I am Gal, your Galactic Assistance Liaison. The Claywood Corporation would like to apologize for any inconvenience you may have experienced. You can now exit the lander and begin your introductory training.
Right away? No breakfast?
Makes you feel alive. So it's either dead inside or alive. One of the two.
Store coffee?
Oh, 60
You're not
FPS,
much different
nice.
from the colony overseers.
Exit the lander to start training.
Welcome to Arcadia 7 in the Raptura system. The goal of this training is to teach you to effectively acquire and produce goods for our clients. However, we'll begin with something simpler. Arcadia is often bombarded by meteorites, which are rich in resources. You have been equipped with a tool to acquire them. What's most valuable in the meteorite?
Obtain meteorite heart. Press 1 to equip the harvester. This is a meteorite, right? From ore. A meteorite heart. With building tool and choose the base core from the menu. How do I do that? OB. Base core. Allows for building of other structures, protects your base from fire waves. Okay. Oh, they want us to place it here? No, I can place it anywhere, right? Place it here.
Good work. You'll need building materials
Colliding
to build
with
the rest
another
of the
building.
base. You can create them with the printer in your lander, but gather the necessary components first. Use the harvester to
basic-
extract them, just like you did with the meteorite.
Find and collect titanium ore. Is this titanium? This is titanium. Need to collect 12.
I gotta admit, working here seems a lot better than at the penal colony.
Wolfram
We definitely
ore.
have better equipment.
The Claywood Corporation spares no expense to ensure its workers have access to the best possible equipment.
The view isn't bad either. I got used to seeing only gray rocks against a dark sky.
We're glad you like it. Arcadia can be beautiful compared to other celestial bodies.
Though I have this nagging feeling I'll regret saying that.
I am unable to predict your feelings, but if I can give you
Are you
some
playing League
advice,
right now? How about
I
that?
suggest enjoying the moment while it lasts.
Of course. What did you get up to yesterday? Were you out with friends? You have a good time? What is this? Oh, this is a Wolfram. Nice. Hungover? No. No, but today. Man, why do you go too hard? You think I overreacted with Olavo? I really didn't like when he said he wanted a whole country nuked. I don't think that's a nice thing to say. It's kind of genocidal. And then he was doubling down. I couldn't have that kind of. Okay, good. Weird thing, I've known him for years. I've known how he behaves. He's gotten banned from a couple of places. But like, I just wanted to see if he's like improved, give him a chance. Because I believe in second chances. I believe that people grow. Yeah. Basic building material. So I get 120.
Everything's ready. Now
570.
build the habitat that will protect your sleeve from Arcadia's dangers. Remember that your body is also a Claywood corporate investment, so it would be good to create a comfortable place for it.
I also don't like how he like acts like he knows it all when he has nothing to show for us. Yeah. Use the building tool to set up a habitat. Yeah, a lot of unhinged stuff. And then like when I do raid out, in the end he would be representative of like, you know, someone that's part of my channel. Like Bedro's been dealing with his bullshit for a bit. I don't want people to feel obliged to like keep him around just because I keep him around. Did Bedro handle him? I don't know if Bedro banned him or kept him around, because Bedro has been considering use building tool to set up a habitat. Yeah, She habit on my tat. Do you have a tattoo? Or do you want to get a tattoo? Bring the habitat down here. No, not really. I don't think they look nice on other people. But personally, I don't think I can get it myself. Where's the door? How do I enter it? Oh, airlock. I don't know. It just came out of habitat and then tattoo. That's just how my word.
Now that you have your shelter,
Study
build a
time got a
filter
cool
inside
tattoo
it.
in
That way, you will always have it nearby, thus
was
optimizing
that
your
the
work.
AC person? The AC person? What? The heck, why are there rocks in here? Oh, this is not the good place to build a habitat. There are these rocks that are in the middle. What? Why did they allow me to build? Let's listen to the game music. I feel like it's got a nice ambience. What game? Star Rupture. But my that was slow. Okay. I'm playing Star Rap. How are you, Phoenix? How do I unbuild? Don't worry, if you place, you can deconstruct using S. Oh, okay. Yeah. I have 2 days more of my holidays. And then no more Ramadan timing. Instead of 6 hours, we're back to 8 hours. Jeebus. And you can do so much in 6 hours. Why do we need an 8-hour workday? Air conditioned? Yeah, but like, where is that from? I'm so lost. Build a basic item printer. Space. Hello, souls. What up, souls? I don't mind unhinged shit, but if you're like trying to be like, you know, edgy at the cost of other people, where you're gonna hurt
Now build
another
a corporate
person
terminal.
without
That
taking
will
into
allow
account
you
their
to complete
background.
assignments
That's
for different companies,
where it kind of draws
which
the
will
line.
in turn give you access to new buildings.
Get power buff by increased food supply. Oh yeah. But like, either way, I don't eat at work. I usually, like, I come home, I have one fat meal, I nap, then I have another meal, and then after I stream, and then I sleep. Okay, build a corporate terminal. Okay. Thinking that sounds like someone that made me uncomfortable that I haven't seen here in a little bit. I mean, if you go to the general channel on my Discords, you'll understand what I had to deal with. Orbital cargo launcher.
The first reward was free, but you'll have to work for the next one. Send us some titanium.
How am I supposed to send what I've gathered back to Earth?
The same way you got here. but in reverse.
In
Look up at the
reverse.
sky. Once you build an orbital cargo launcher, it will send supplies right through that rift. It will cover light years in seconds.
Like it's gonna be a bad day for everyone, though you work from home. Oh, okay. You commanded around now work reality. Yeah. So build a SAR supply for the OCL. Select a commission in the OCL. Supply the OCL with the required items. So let's build the orbital command launch cargo launcher. What? I rotate. I know I'm gonna have to send titanium up there. Transfer power between buildings, connect them with their platforms. So I need to build a solar panel. That work? Okay. Select the commission. Titanium ore. I don't have any of that. Yeah, I missed the music. Game is making my things slow.
As soon as we get the package, your reputation will increase, which you.
Reach level 2 in corporate terminal.
The shipment has arrived. You've just proven you're useful, which means the corporation trusts you a little bit more. You've acquired new schematics. Go ahead, claim your reward. We've just unlocked new building schematics
How
for
are you, Souls? Where you been up to? How's the
Guess
game
what
maker
they're
stuff
for?
going?
I use
We were just
these
watching
machines
videos
on Mars.
on
The rails are
from
for drones
Juniper
that will
Dev.
carry resources between buildings. As
She's
for
big
the
on Game
ore
Maker.
excavator, I refuse to say what it does. I have many years of mining experience.
Lack of knowledge is nothing to be embarrassed about. The ore excavator excavates ores.
You don't say. That explains
Want to buy a
everything.
new system,
glad I
but
could help.
it's hard to justify. It's really hard to justify. The heck? This is a lot bigger than it used to be. What the heck? They did change the tutorial a bit from when I last remember. Okay. The next execute OCL using drone rails. Let's get the. Now listen to me, I don't want you anymore. Oh, oh. Okay. Enough power? Is there enough power? Overloaded the system. Not enough power. Used 1510. So I need to build another. Another power.
Now that the raw materials are being extracted automatically, you'll have more time to build out your base.
I have a question. Why didn't you install all available building schematics for me from the start? That would speed up my work even more.
All of the machines made available to you during your mission are delicate and extremely expensive. They are also
Take care.
bound by
Enjoy your
NDAs
drinks.
and
Enjoy
patents.
sushi. I know. Thanks for coming
None
back.
of the companies working with the Claywood Corporation
Appreciate you.
have granted permission to give you everything right away. You need to prove you are worthy of using the more advanced equipment.
But I already signed the NDA.
This will be best explained by the words of Annika Fisher, the CEO of Future Health Solutions, one of our partners. Playing recording.
There's no way I'm giving those degenerates my patents. They don't care about the law or intellectual property. But if it becomes necessary and they actually deserve it, then so be it. Don't quote me on that.
Don't quote me on that. Select a commission. Oh, I need to select the commission. Is it not receiving the item? They should be. Reach corporation level 3. What did you drink? How much did you drink last night? Water. Water. Do something. 10 beers? Jeebus. You're gonna get fat, man. The whole day, okay. A whole day of drinking. You mad lad.
Good stuff.
Is sun rare in Finland? An AI data center in space next. We need that
Birthing build an
sentient
AI data
run
center in space next. We need that sentient sun to render kinkies next. AI solving cancer later.
It's later. Yeah, when are we going to solve cancer with
Great work
AI?
as usual.
They're doing all of the
Now
wrong
build
things.
the analyzer and research some local flora with it.
That's what they took all of the money for, to solve cancer. But now we're like funding the most sloth startups. All of these chat GPT rappers. Set up an analyzing station. Analyze any plant. And is nice, weather is rare at this time of year. No finally melted. Oh yeah. I miss snow. I miss winter. I don't like summer. So I do. I don't like sweating. It's gross. The heck, where do I get the analyzing? You don't like freezing? But you can just put on more layers. But in the summer, you can take all the layers off you want, but you can't do that at the workplace.
Useful information.
Once you research enough plants, send the data to our scientists and claim your reward. In the future, you will need to decide which corporations you want to share your research with. The data from Arcadia is so valuable that companies prefer to keep it to themselves and will appreciate it when you choose them.
Do you have AC in your, is like AC common in Norway? No? Oh. The heating is. I don't have enough data points.
Interesting.
Most of us, right? Here we have like air conditioners. And during the winter, the air conditioner can go into heating mode as well. It would be impossible to live in Saudi without AC. It's the default.
It's time for the final stage of introductory training. Raw materials aren't very useful to corporations, since they need to produce something with them anyway. Use the buildings you have available and
Between
automate the
excavator and
production of the
orbiter,
more
built a
valuable
smelter.
items.
Why can't they process them themselves? They have factories across the entire solar system.
This will be best explained by a private conversation recorded between two executives.
They're
at
just
the
leaking
Griffiths
all of the
Military
private
Corporation.
So you're telling me all of the tax laws only apply to the solar system?
Oh, is this tax laws?
The mining tax, the cosmic fees, deductions from extraterrestrial income, the cost of insuring sensitive cargo. Legally, none of that applies to us. They
I
can't
need to
even hit us
build a
with tariffs.
smelter.
It's free money, man.
I don't know why I asked.
We should get AC though. Last summer we had a month. Oof. And the building are made for keeping heat. Yeah. There enough power? Used 20, producing 20. Yeah, we should be good. Titanium bar.
We're nearing the end of our training. Please answer the following questions.
Why isn't the excavator working?
10, how anxious does being incinerated alive make you feel?
I can't think of a worse way to die, so on a scale from 1 to 10, that's a solid 3.
Oh, I need to
Understood.
select
On a scale of 1 to 10,
titanium bar.
how afraid are you of arachnids about a meter in diameter?
I'm afraid of these questions.
Yeah, Canadian summers were rough as
Questions
well.
never killed anyone.
And I got one of those $500 ACs, portable ACs that you hook up to the window. Life-saving. Level 5 and claim the rewards. Guess it needs to keep sending things. Can make a lot of titanium bars. Can I split it up to speed it up? Now I have a rail connector, expansion and splitting of their paths. Rail support. Long rails. 120 items conducts electricity. Training completed.
Great job. This is the end of your introductory training. But remember that Arcadia 7 is a dangerous place, and a person will spend their entire life, or lives rather, learning from it. Stay alert, gather information, and don't worry. I'm always by your side, watching your every move.
Is that a threat?
It's for your own safety. I will now remove the introductory training restrictions. Location barrier disabled. Sedative injector disconnected.
Sedative injector?
Communications channel active. Awakening other crew members. Ready. The Claywood Corporation hopes you will have a wonderful adventure and quickly pay off your debt. Good luck.
Luck.
Can you hear me?
What was that?
Oh, don't worry. It's only B1690, one of your colleagues. You're connected via audio, even when they're not currently active.
When they're not active?
The human brain can't go on for too long without stimulation.
Without stimulation.
When sleeves are sleeping in the regeneration chamber, they get a constant audio and video feed of everything you do. They can also communicate with you. You'll also get this opportunity.
Everything?
Relax. You have nothing to be ashamed of.
Be ashamed of. What the heck? Okay. I just wanted to do the training for now. Let's try Sifu out. Hey! What are you doing, man? I hope this game gives me the same feeling that the OG PS1 Jackie Chan gave me back in the day. Hmm? Oh yeah. To get the audio directly configured. Not visible, barely visible, yes. Disciple, classic Sifu experience. Want to enjoy the game's original level of difficulty, yes. VLSS auto detect. Let's keep it at auto detect. Desync no. That ultra. Okay. Seems to be running well. So we get right into it. Game runs nice. Hi.
What's going on? Who are you?
Get out of my way.
Leave him to me.
Oh. Oi. What do you mean, what the fuck? I got this old school. Okay. I like it already. There is some stuttering. Why is it? Should I enable VSync? Or just make it balanced. High, high, high. High, high, high.
I thought you said they'd put up a fight. I'm barely breaking a sweat.
Don't be so arrogant.
He's a good guy. Am I a bad person? The heck? Can I fight him?
Who the hell is that? Get him now!
Oh! Hey! Enough. Damn.
Yang! How dare you set foot in here again? You should never have come back. All right. No! Not so tough after all.
You were even entering the club yesterday.
Where is he?
Violent. Causing a ruckus. Oh shit.
Yang, of course. You've gotten slow, Sifu.
Equal.
You know why I'm here, don't you? Just step aside.
Throw ass, not hands.
You were a mistake. I should never have taught you. Now you know too much. By returning here tonight, you've given me a second chance. This time, I will do what I must.
Okay. Directional throw. So there's so many different modifiers. Jesus. I'm cooked. Sifu's too good. Why is that guy's hand glowing? Oh, it's a cigarette. Oof.
When I look into your eyes, I see nothing but a frightened, angry child.
Fuck. What up, everyone? I just started the game. How was the stream today? I slept through it all. I went to bed at 1 p.m. I was up all night trying to like overclock my laptop. And then I woke up at like 10:30 p.m. Nice. Sent me a DM. All right, yeah, well, I haven't spoken to him in a bit. Oh, my brother messaged me as well. Set up tail scale, just need to be linked to your account. It's on a container that should be able to talk to Proximus host. Let me know. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna do some kill skill stuff in a bit. Oh no, nah, I'll just gonna play this a bit. I'm gonna do it on off screen. I'll set it up tomorrow. Message fall. All right, I message Michelle. Damn it. I got him.
Show yourself.
I can choose my character. Why, girl? I hate making decisions. Like, good boy. Oh, there's a little kid. Oh wait, so I was the bad guy at the start. And I killed his Sifu. He's what the Something saved my life.
Father.
Okay, hit me. Huge Fajar, the botanist. It's got style. I like it. Avoid high attacks. L1 down. I'm doing that. Try again. Just before being hit. Damn it! I'm doing that. Oh. Easy. Artist, hello. Down, up. What's that? Oh. The CEO. Down, up, triangle. I wonder how they got these moves into the game. Did they like model it using motion tracking? Would be cool. Okay, I want to do this server thing. I'm gonna wait. Let's log into tier scale. Right. Just name tier scale. Okay. So if I just go to, oh, this is wrong. Okay. Fine. $80. Hello, Max. What up? I logged into tier scale. $80.06. Maybe I need to use IP. Just load. I go to the washroom. Give me a moment. Yeah. All right. All right. Subnet's exit node. Why is it used as an exit node? One route advertised but not approved. What does that mean? It's been so long since I did networking. Device running tailscale is advertising that can relay to your local network range. There's other tailscale device on your tailnet reach these local devices, even ones that don't have tailscale installed. Oh. I don't want that. Okay. All right. Why 77? I guess I need to enable this. It looks super cheesy. I don't think I've ever seen it. I like this song. Beat. There's a Crazy Frog version of it as well. Need a reliable way. Jamba Garbage. Axel F, I heard from Crazy Frog first as well. Machine name. MTL. Now, I don't like that it has an IP from there. And I forgot how to use Proxmox. Been so long. We have this. '24 CPU, 48 GB RAM. What's the 2 GB being used? Only 100 gigs? What happened to the remaining storage I had in there? It's not just set up? Okay. Okay, okay. I forgot how to use this. I did have an article. Hello, Buttersaurus. Long time. How are you? First one, we installed Proxmox VE on a refurbished Dell. Wait, did you log into the Tailscale and then give me access, or was it already there? Come? Nah, I'm busy, man. I had a lot of work. And I wanted my vacation to relax because work has been taking so much out of me. When you're switching to ESXi, like why would I do ESXi? Is it free? When you phrase it like that, how are you next? Going on? But I can't believe you put that on Twitter. Your chastity belt thing. It's 5K a year. Yeah, that's why I didn't do it. Speaking of, like, Proxmox prompts you for some subscription thing. There were some scripts from this guy that passed away. Proxmox scripts helper. New home for the project. Yeah, no, don't worry. I'll message you. Thank you. Quick setup. No. Teleport. No, I don't want these. I want the script that removes the pop-up that asks me to subscribe. Remove subscribe pop-up procs. vSphere being the management plane. Yeah, but you can do that with Proxmox too. And then there's high availability. You can have you can manage multiple other nodes. Blah blah blah.
No valid subscription as mentioned UI of our Proxmox node. This right said is a fresh install.
Does EXFX use KVM?
As you can see, that we log in subscription for the server. A lot of as well your new root at 131. Type yes, and then the password.
What version of Proxmox are we running? If it's the one hype, yeah. Why would I use that then? It's not Linux based. I want to escape the clutches of corporate on my free time. Oh, it's 9. Okay.
We'll open that file with now. First, we're going to smoxlib.js file. That should bring us to...
I don't have the bandwidth. I have food coma. I think I'm just going to call it. I'll try doing this early tomorrow. And I'll sleep early today as well. But this will be fun. I can set up OpenSense. Then I'll use OpenSense to get a direct dynamic IP, a second dynamic IP from my ISP in Canada. And then I haven't done subnetting in forever. But it's going to be simple. We'll see. I'm having less RAM to play with than expected, but that's fine. It's more than double than whatever we have right now. Will be good. All right. Who's live?